let's go ahead and dive into it. Welcome. My name is Avery Michelson, the founder of UCapture. Joined today by my colleague Mara Sue, who you'll hear from, and also by two of our fantastic sustainability professionals that we've been working with now for over a year, Laura Bain from Furman University and Mary Fisher from Brandeis. What the agenda for the call here today is, for the webinar, I'd like to give you an overview of what UCapture is, explain how this platform works technically, and then how we'll work with your school to help you achieve your sustainability goals. Then I'm going to pass it over to Laura and Mary so you can hear from them, learn from their experience, hear why they've chosen to work with us, and we'll conclude with Mara and Mara's experience with UCapture. All right, well, again, thanks for joining. I believe that why most of you here today is a fairly simple reason. We are all very motivated to combat climate change, and specifically, we have a goal of reducing and offsetting our carbon footprint. As sustainability professionals at your university, many of you may have carbon neutral goals to try to achieve, and some of those dates are even coming quite quickly. I know there's sustainability professionals that are not at universities that are listening, and for you, the message is quite similar. The way we'll work with your company or with your environmental organization is quite similar, so all quite relevant. Thanks for tuning in. Jumping to the punchline, okay? We need to go carbon neutral, and there's two ways that we'll do that as institutions. First off, you'll reduce your carbon footprint, and that's by switching to green energy and changing your buildings and changing some of the business practices to try to reduce travel and other things. But as institutions in 2020, it's impossible to reduce your carbon footprint to zero. And so that's where the second pillar of things comes in, which is carbon offsets, to actually offset your carbon emissions by funding these verified carbon offset projects elsewhere. The challenge with carbon offsets is the economics of it, right? How are we going to pay for the carbon offsets that are needed for us to get carbon neutral? And so my punchline is that UCapture is going to help your school go carbon neutral for free. And we do that by engaging your community. We get them using our green tech platform. And when they use our green tech platform, they're going to be donating carbon offsets to your school for your school to claim against your carbon footprint. So what I'm going to do now is share my screen, because this is a tech platform and I just want to show you how this technology works. That'll be the simplest and easiest way to see it. What I've done is I've gone to, just had another registration, great. I've gone to the landing page for Furman University. What we do is we set up a custom referral link for your school. Furman's is ucapture.com/Furman. And the objective is to get your community visiting UCapture through that link and signing up and using our technology. Now, what UCapture is a browser extension, okay? That's a tool that you're going to install onto the browser on your computer. And you see, I've just clicked to go over to the Chrome web store. UCapture is available in Chrome, in Firefox, in Microsoft Edge, and 3 other browsers. And you see, with just 3 clicks, that's all it took, 3 clicks, I've now gotten the UCapture extension installed on my computer. Now I'm going to take you through a walkthrough so we see the extension in action. And it's now taking me to one of our partner websites. We've partnered with GoDaddy, 25,000 other online stores. I'll show you those in a second. When you visit one of these partner stores, the browser extension will pop up. It recognizes our partners. You click to activate, and that's it. Our second feature within that is our automatic coupon feature. These partner stores of ours have provided us with their discount codes. we can test and automatically apply the best code for you, so you're able to save money as well using the UCapture extension. And you see now I've completed a transaction and I've earned some carbon offsets from this transaction. So let me explain what's actually happening here behind the scenes. As you see that on this list of stores, we've partnered with over 25,000 retailers. And it's the big names that you know, Expedia and Groupon and Target and Walmart. And the relationship that we have with them is an affiliate marketing relationship. So what that means is that when I click this link to go to Groupon, that has triggered Groupon to pay me a commission and when I shop, okay? Just gonna log into the extension. Now, as a user, that's not increasing my price at all, okay? UCapture is able to earn a commission from these, and that is a form of green marketing for these companies. They have decided to partner with UCapture because they know you have a choice when you shop online. When you need to get a plane flight, you could get it from Expedia or Priceline or Orbitz, one of our partners, or get it elsewhere. And they know as an environmentally conscious consumer, you're more likely to choose them, to choose Expedia and Priceline and stay loyal to those companies because you're able to reduce your carbon footprint for free having UCapture. So what's happening then is by having the extension installed, I'll show you it activating on just one more site. I'm visiting hotels.com, and you see it recognizes and activates automatically, okay? That's triggering these partner websites to pay us a commission, okay? Doesn't increase your price at all, and in fact, as you see, again, we have the coupon codes that are saving you money, right? So you'll actually save money and save the planet. We, as UCapture, are taking 2/3 of all the commissions that we earn and putting it towards the verified carbon offset project of your choice. Now you'll see on the platform, we already have 24 carbon offset projects. These are all over the world and all over the US. And they're projects that have been verified by the names that you know, like Verified Carbon Standard and Climate Action Reserve and Gold Standard. So each of our users gets to choose the project that they want to support, right? I've just gone into selection mode and I can choose which project I want to support. But there's a second layer where you, as the sustainability manager that is working with us, can also optimize that portfolio. If there's any projects that you don't want within your portfolio, we can certainly have those removed. Now, we think all of our projects are fantastic. We've vetted them. They've all had the independent verification, but we want to provide you a certain level of control as well as the sustainability manager, because what's going to be happening when we engage your community to UCapture and they're using this tool, the carbon offsets that they generate are being donated to your school. And you can see some of the schools, maybe even some of you who are on this call, Furman and Brandeis, who we've been working with, Mary and Laura, who you'll hear from, have started engaging their community, getting students and faculty and even alumni to join the platform through their referral link, install and use the technology that's generating carbon offsets, and those carbon offsets are donated to your school. Now, we know that this tool can make a really big impact if you choose to engage. We've got a fun estimate the impact for your school here. And you can see that even under some low engagement of getting even 5% of our student body on an annual basis engaged, we think we can take a lot of schools to carbon neutral by around 2030, okay, working with UCapture. So that's something that feel free to play with yourself and explore around the website. But in a nutshell, that is what UCapture is empowering you to do, because here's a way that you can get all of the individuals in your community, right? You can get everyone pulling towards that sustainability goal. And rather than having this be a sustainability challenge that just you, as the officers, are trying to address, you can engage the community in the act of generating those carbon offsets. Secondarily, what that's going to do is going to allow you to retain your sustainability budget for those on-campus initiatives that you're going to try to achieve for those reductions of your own carbon footprint. Okay, well, I'm going to pause there with my introduction of UCapture. I'm going to bring some of our sustainability professionals into it. Laura, I'm going to come over to you first. So I'm just unmuting you now.
Okay. Cool. Hi, everyone. I'm going to attempt to share my screen with you and show you just a couple of slides. Here we go. And okay, is that working? Yeah, okay. So hopefully you're seeing my screen. And so I just wanted to give you a little bit of background. So Furman is a small liberal arts university. We have about 2,700 students. We're in Greenville, South Carolina. And I first heard about UCapture back in March of 2017. And it was about 3 months into my role at Furman. And I was on a webinar trying to learn about carbon offsets and various strategies, and it was University of Maryland was in there, and that's how I heard about UCapture. And our current administration is really focusing our efforts and our funding on operational efficiency within the university, and so we think that's probably the best place to start. And any other additional or new funding is going toward either operational efficiency or student direct student impact. So we don't have a budget for purchasing carbon offsets. So because of that, we thought that UCapture would give us a nice opportunity to engage the campus in carbon offsets in a way to do it that we could start to accrue carbon offsets for free. But the other thing that I noted is that we think that has been a really great conversation opener for Furman. So it's been a nice way for us to educate students about the very abstract idea of what is carbon, what is a carbon offset, and to talk about these goals that we have as an institution, to talk about individual impact and how an individual can help mitigate their impact. And it's just been a helpful way to engage the discussion amongst all of our stakeholder groups, not only students, but parents, staff, alumni, and our greater Greenville community. And as Avery said, we're going to need carbon offsets at some point. And so when we're ready to have that discussion with our administration and say, okay, we're ready to be carbon neutral, we're going to need these offsets, hopefully we've narrowed that gap a little bit, and we won't need to purchase as many. So let me see if I can switch to the next. There we go. So this is a little bit about how we got started. We started on a really small scale just by personally looking at the platform, figuring out how it worked. And once we'd done that, and I talked to some of my colleagues and had them look at it, and were comfortable with it, we started to develop more strategic partnerships in our university. So talking with our purchasing department, our finance office, and specifically the finance office that provides travel approvals. And she was amazing, and she agreed to add this reminder to her travel approval emails that said, hey, you're buying a rental car or a flight, use UCapture when you do it. And so it was a nice way for us to look for purchasing that was already happening on our campus and engage UCapture with those purchases. So that was sort of our first level. The other thing that's been really helpful is that most of us in sustainability have pretty broad job descriptions, and we're stretched pretty thin already. And so the idea of having a campus ambassador who's a student who was able to help me get the word out and really engage our campus has been amazing. This is the picture you see of our student campus ambassador who's done a really fabulous job. And we found that students tend to engage better with their peers than they do with the, the old fogies on our campus who are trying to get them to change their behavior. So it's been a really effective way for us. You can see by the chart that we got our first student ambassador really engaged right when this big bump happened. So it's obviously been a really helpful tool for us, especially when it comes to matters of tech. Students talk to students better about technological advances. So it's been really useful for us. And I think a very impactful experience for the student. And the last slide I have is just a few list of successful strategies that we've been able to employ. The first, I mentioned having our travel approvals and our finance department be on board with reminding employees to use it when they're purchasing travel. The other big thing is engaging our freshmen at freshman orientation. So we have partnered with our IT department, and we sit in IT when freshmen come through and they're getting their computer set up, and we have a specific table where we ask them to download the extension and to sign up for UCapture, and it gives us, again, an opener for discussion about their impact at Furman and what we expect a Furman student to do in regard to their sustainability actions. And it's been really a good positive experience for everybody, I think. The other few things, we made some Furmanized stickers. So I don't know what it is about stickers, but people love them. So stickers have been really useful, a good way to hand things out and start to talk to folks. I also have a few faculty that are interested in this type of thing, and it's been really useful to reach out to them and say, hey, can we have our student ambassador or myself come and talk for 5 minutes at the beginning of your class? I like to do this at the beginning of the semester when there's a little bit of flexibility within schedules. Most faculty are happy to do that. We've included UCapture as part of our Green Office program, so it's going out to all employees through this program as a way to encourage the use of it. And then more recently, we've engaged our alumni office, who was doing a big social media push around Black Friday and holiday shopping. So we know shopping is going to be happening, and we may as well try to get folks using the platform and helping Furman accrue some carbon credits. And then the last thing I'll leave you with are just these images here at the bottom of the screen. And it was a really fun project with a communication studies class where they were learning how to use some software to make memes and infographics. And so the topic that they were using was UCapture. And so they came up with some funny graphics and memes that we could then share, and they were able to share amongst their friends. And so it was a good way to engage, and it was fun, and I got a few useful tools out of it. So I'll back off at this point if I can stop my screen share, and happy to answer questions later.
Great. Well, thanks so much, Laura, for that awesome remarks. And just going to come back. And Mary, we're going to come over to you in just a sec. So here we go. Mary, unmuting. And spotlight. There we go.
Great. Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and click share and select my slideshow for everybody. Well, hello, everyone. I'm Mary Fisher. I'm the Sustainability Manager at Brandeis University. And Brandeis is outside of Boston. We have about 3,500 undergraduate students, 1,500 graduate. We have been using UCapture for about a year or so now, maybe a little bit longer. And I'll just kind of walk you through how we started. So again, just to echo what Avery and Laura said is, reducing our footprint is not optional, and we need some sort of financial mechanism to do it. I think everybody's pretty much on the same page with that. And we're not going to be able to, when there's no silver bullet to reduce our carbon footprint, it's really silver buckshot. And so I consider UCapture is part of that buckshot, as we have to kind of do it any way we possibly can. Our previous climate action plan was a little bit more wishful thinking than actual action. So it's nice to have a kind of easy, simple, engaging way to get people involved. Again, also like Furman, we don't have a budget to purchase offsets right now. And we are currently in the process of setting a new date for carbon neutrality. It's looking like we're probably going to choose 2030. But in the meantime, we thought, we really need to begin socializing the concept of carbon offsets in the community. It's a tricky concept for most people to understand. And I would say most people still don't really understand what it is, even after they do sign up with UCapture, but they at least are hearing the word, and that's raising awareness and getting it more kind of spread across the community. So the way that we kind of started out working with UCapture is I wanted to make sure that it passed the sniff test among our students. So we kind of started with just a small group of students to get them using it and present it to them and see what their kind of take on it was. And they liked it and they thought, okay, this is cool. They really checked it out pretty deeply. And so I basically kind of handed over the process of the majority of the process of getting people signed up with UCapture to the students. I do some of it as well, but for the most part, we've really taken advantage of the UCapture Ambassador Program, and our students really love to do tabling sessions, whether it's as ambassadors or as just volunteers with the Office of Sustainability, and orientations, for example. They love to have students sign up on laptops during big events. Our ambassadors have also gone into classes to do quick presentations. Whenever I do a presentation in a class or for another event, I always tell people to take out their phones and sign up for UCapture, and I inevitably get at least a few people who actually do it during every event, which is nice. And then I also included in my my newsletter. So sometimes I send it monthly, sometimes it's every couple months, but I include a link there, and we've also included it in our kind of campus-wide newsletter to all faculty, staff, and students. And so we're kind of in the process of continuing to get on sort of the firm and level engagement on the of UCapture. We're not quite there yet, but again, it's just, to me, it's one of many strategies that are going to be necessary to carbon neutrality. So I'll stop there, Avery.
Okay, great. Well, thanks for that, Mary. I'm just going to bring the screen back over to me. Cool. Well, thanks, Laura, and thanks, Mary, for those awesome comments and the insight to how you've been able to succeed with this. I think what you heard is we want to go carbon neutral, and we see UCapture as a fantastic tool to help us on that journey towards carbon neutrality. We're not waiting for that carbon neutral date to come. Let's start engaging the community in this, having everyone bring it forth, and that's exciting because it's raising the awareness, it's raising the education level and the understanding of what the school's sustainability goals are, which serves a dual purpose. Not only are we reducing the carbon footprint, but as educators, which is one of the other top priorities at these schools, you're achieving that purpose too. Okay, well, let's go over to our final panelist, Mara Sue, and I will let her introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mara Sue. I'm the head of university programs at UCapture, but was not always. I actually started as a campus ambassador myself with UCapture. I was studying sustainable development at Appalachian State University, and I was on App State's solar-powered race car team, Sunergy. Our team wanted to go carbon neutral. And that is how I ultimately learned about UCapture for the first time. And when I saw UCapture and the potential in it and how it works, how easy and effective it is, I was so excited. I wanted to become a campus ambassador too, beyond the race car team. So that was a fantastic experience working as a campus ambassador myself on the App State team. I was able to talk to my classes about it and talk to some other classes and clubs. I was able to take it to our sustainability council on campus and got my friends to sign up. But it was really a fantastic experience because I had so much support from Avery and from the others on my campus, from the solar vehicle team and the sustainability office. So that was really great to see that there was support for me to get those opportunities on campus. And there was a lot of excitement from other students, from our Student Sustainability Council and from my professors. Other people saw the potential in it too and were excited to join. So I'm really excited to be able to work with some of you and your students, having been an ambassador myself, having learned what works and what gets other students excited about this, and to see the potential in it for their campus in a way that's really empowering them as individuals to become a part of that sustainability initiative on campus. So yeah, thank you all for coming in today and learning about UCapture and our mission. So hoping to get started with some of you and get your students excited about this too.
Well, great, Mara. Thanks for that. And you know, let me just pick up on you know, some of what Mara said. She was an absolute rock star on our team for over a year at UCapture. We were incredibly lucky to have her join our company full time as she was exiting school. And now, as you see, we literally work side by side. We've also got our CTO, Mark Ciadat, who's an absolute whiz at programming, building fantastic tools on this webinar. So excited to hear from you on the Q&A. We've had a couple questions in, a couple great questions coming in throughout the webinar that we'd like to take. And I'm just going to go ahead and kick off our poll right now. We have a poll of 2 questions, simple questions. We'd love to get your responses on those. You probably see them on your screen now. And so I'll just be quiet and let you focus on those. All right, we're up to 50% of the voting here. Just going to hang out for a few more seconds. Cool. A couple of you finishing up the poll questions. Thanks for doing that. And what looks like we're seeing is carbon neutral dates. Most have. Somebody is already carbon neutral. Congratulations to you. But for the majority of it, it's carbon neutral dates in the 2030s and beyond. And what we see is the highest answer is that on experience with carbon offsets is that you haven't bought them yet, but plan to, or that you want offsets and have no budget. So I think that's really, you know, hopefully for you, the UCapture concept resonated a lot, because before you buy those offsets, we can help you start earning them and getting increased familiarity with them. We can make up, we think, a meaningful component of that carbon offset budget. And for those that don't have a carbon offset budget, I think here's a fantastic opportunity to get your community donating the carbon offsets that you'll need to go carbon neutral and make up that second pillar of the carbon reduction. Okay, well, jumping into the Q&A, the first question that I'll take here is it possible for our school to get carbon offsets located near our school? Great question. I think there's always an objective and an interest in having carbon offsets that are local. In a sense, a ton of CO2 is a ton of CO2, and you know, fantastic to be offsetting wherever it is. But what you'll see in our project mix is a lot of projects around the United States. I believe we have 12 states already, and those are spread regionally. So most likely you'll be able to find something near you. But we're always adding projects onto our platform, and to the extent you know of a carbon offset project that you would like us to add, you can help us find some of those offsets to source. We will bring that offset project onto our platform, so that your school can be, and other schools and other users can be supporting that project. So to the extent you know of a project that you want us to be working with, please help us find that, and we'll bring that project into the platform. Okay, great. We've got a question. Actually, I'm going to pass this one over to Laura, if you can. And the question is, how have you supported the student campus ambassadors? What have you been able to do to help them, achieve their job? So let me just figure out, where's my Zoom tool here? I need to end the polling. Yep, great. And sorry about the minor technical delay here, folks. Where is this?
If I unmute myself.
Yep, there you are. Great.
Okay.
Thanks, Laura.
Sure. So the question was, how do I support our campus ambassadors? So mostly it's through connections. So it's helping them make a plan for how they are going to get the word out. It's helping them know who to contact to reserve a table. It's getting them the list of faculty that are willing to have them speak in their class. Helping them buy stickers, or just generally supporting them in they come up with most of the ideas, and then I help them implement them. So in a lot of cases, I am sitting at the table with them. I'm helping them use the language that's going to be effective at our school. It depends on the student. We got really lucky and have a student ambassador who's a self-starter and just really great. And so I think it depends on your student and your level of capacity to support them. But for the most part, it's been helping them make connections on our campus.
That's great, Laura. Thanks. Yeah, I think that's really what we're hoping to have, is a support system for the students. And so as the sustainability officers, you've got the access to get them the ability to table on campus, get the approvals that they need, make introductions to some of the other professors that will let them go and make those presentations. And so the sustainability professionals are providing that leverage to the group of student ambassadors. Okay, I have a question about the coupons. How do the coupons work again? And yeah, fantastic. I think it's a great aspect of our platform, because we all on this webinar care immensely about climate change and about solving this. But let's be frank, not everyone is as climate passionate as us. And so what the coupons is these stores that we work with, the 25,000 stores, they've got discount codes. And when you're shopping online, you go and look for those discount codes. How can I save some more money? Well, they've provided them to us, right? And so our browser extension actually has these coupon codes in there. I'm just going to go back to Groupon. You see, I already had it activated, so I don't even need to click. You can see the coupons at any point throughout your shopping experience by clicking on that UC icon and seeing them. But to make it even easier, what happens is when you reach the checkout page, that the extension is going to recognize that you're on the checkout page, and it's going to automatically test those coupons and apply the one that saves you the most money. It's a really smart tool. As I said, my CTO, Mark Ciadat, a fantastic programmer. He's built these great features that make that tool, that just set it and forget it, and you can save money and save the planet. Let's see, how do I get my, stop sharing. Beautiful, back here. Just one more time, there it is on my t-shirt, save money, save the planet. Okay, another question that we have from, let's see, can you explain the difference between carbon offsets and RECs? Sure. So renewable energy credits is, a purchase of renewable energy, and where you may not actually be on renewable energy for your school, you can purchase RECs as a way of as well reducing your school's carbon footprint and carbon impact. Carbon offsets are a different type of project. We deal in carbon offsets. That's what UCapture's platform is. We love that carbon offsets give you a very quantifiable reduction of CO2. One carbon offset is 1 ton of CO2. And so as you have your reporting to ASHE and STARS and Second Nature, you're going to get a certificate that shows you exactly the carbon offsets that you received from UCapture throughout the year, which projects they are, which verification agency that is. I think that carbon offsets are fantastic because not only, I'm just going to show you real quick on sharing my screen, I want to highlight a few of these projects that, for me are really, just fantastic things. Like, let's take this Kariba Red project in Zimbabwe. Not only is this project planting trees that are soaking up CO2, we all know that, but it's providing these folks a great income opportunity. Zimbabwe's been war-torn from civil war, and here's a great income opportunity for these communities. But as well, it's connected 4 national parks and 8 safari reserves and protecting a number of endangered species. So we find a lot of cool social benefits out of things like that. Or if we take a project like our efficient cook stoves in Rwanda, where we're providing these cook stoves that burn 70% less firewood, a lot less deforestation happening, but it improves the air quality indoors, right? And great health benefits there. And secondarily, the person who's often out collecting that firewood is the kids. So now you have less work for the kids and more time for them to be a kid and focus on schools and all those great things. Okay, let's see. We've got a few more questions. Yeah, do the campus ambassadors get paid? Great. Let's let Mara talk about the campus ambassador position.
So the campus ambassador position is a paid position. What we do is set up each ambassador with their own referral link, like Furman has ucapture.com/Furman. I believe Laura's campus ambassador is Sammy, ucapture.com/Sammy. So Sammy has her own link that's connected to the Furman program. And each time somebody joins the Furman program using Sammy's referral link, Sammy gets paid for that. So each time they download the browser extension and create their account, that username, email, password, Sammy gets paid $1. So we've set up so that the students are focusing on the right objectives. They're getting people joining the program. That's what actually generates the carbon offsets. That's our goal. So it keeps our ambassadors focused, but it also gives them a great opportunity to be rewarded for helping with the program and earn some extra cash.
That's awesome. Thanks, Mara. And another thing I'd highlight there is it's a great resume opportunity to add to and learning experience, building public speaking skills and marketing engagement skills. So we found it really rewarding. Obviously, there's career opportunities with UCapture, and Mara's living proof of that. Okay, another question that came in: what's the best way of getting my administration up and using or on board with this? So I'll take that one. We've got a process here that we've done with a lot of schools, and it's really, we like to be methodical. We like to answer anybody's questions, make sure that they're comfortable with this platform. We have a landing page that you can pass to anyone so they can see how it's working. We've got a 3-page document on our IT, security, privacy policy, data policy, things like that you can pass over to your IT manager, whoever wants that. We're happy to have video conferences and as many emails back and forth to explain the questions that may come up. Suffice it to say, when people get to understand UCapture, they as well get enthusiastic about it. And so really, it's about socializing the concept with the key stakeholders that you have, bringing in IT, having them vet this tool. We've had a number of universities, IT managers, go through the full process of understanding how the technology works. Fundamentally, they're able to get comfortable with it quite quickly because we are not a data company, okay? I'll say that again, we're really not a data company. We're not tracking your browsing around the internet. We're not trying to see where you're, the sites that you're visiting or the products that you're looking at. In fact, the only piece of information you're going to provide us with is an email address. And the only thing we're going to use that for is to tell you about the carbon offsets that you've done, to be able to inform you after each transaction of the carbon offset that has happened as a result. So really, a great deal of privacy and security with the platform. We're very transparent about that and how it works. But thanks for that question. Okay, cool. Well, one more question here is, how can you give us an example of a carbon offset, a specific transaction, and what that impact would be? I'll field that one again, and to do that, I'll just go ahead and share the screen for one more second. Here is the back to Groupon. Let's just use that example because I've already shown them a few times and we've seen them. I'm just going to show you back in the stores here what the carbon offset offer is on Groupon. I've got mine set in kilograms, but for those of you who know the math, 2.2 pounds per kilogram. So that's 14 pounds per kilo, or 14 pounds of CO2 per dollar that I spend on Groupon. So if I'm getting this Blush Beauty Studio, I probably am due for a pedicure anyway, so yeah, that would make sense. I'm going to be spending, let's call that $20 on Groupon, and let's take that $20 and multiply it by the 14 pounds of CO2. I'd be offsetting 280 pounds of CO2, right? And that's, I would say, definitely going to be a lot more than the carbon footprint of getting my feet scrubbed. So here we have an activity that's dramatically climate positive and able to make actually quite a big impact in that way. Okay, well, I think we have probably answered all the questions. You guys have been a fantastic audience. Thanks for participating in the poll. Thanks for listening. Next steps, before you go, final next steps. Go over to ucapture.com/schools. Okay, that's where you can enroll your school. Very simple to enroll and ask for us to set up a program. Both Mara and myself will be reaching out to have one-on-one calls with all of you, answer the questions that you didn't have today, make sure that the understanding is fully there. So expect to hear from us by email tomorrow. And let's go ahead and schedule those one-on-one dialogues as soon as we can. Get your school started. We still have a few months in the school year. We have Earth Day coming up. There's plenty of opportunity to engage and start making an impact still this school year. So we really look forward to hearing from you. Thanks very much for listening today and participating, and let's save money and save the planet.